Y'all's the hate on all of my moves, but now niggas on it. Y'all used to bait me on me and my views, but now niggas on it. I used to tell them I'ma have me a show, but now niggas on it. Her homies on it. Your homies on it. Y'all's the hate on all of my moves, but now niggas on it. Y'all used to debate me on me and my views, but now niggas on it. I used to tell them I had me a show, but now niggas on it. Her homies on it. Your homies on it.
What up, what up? We back, man. The realest podcast ever. It's your boy.
Oh, okay. I'm your other boy. You know what I'm saying? What's good with you?
Shout out to the whole YouTube community, everybody out there, all the new subscribers, all the new watchers on YouTube, man. His Mike Knox interview is Moving Mountains. His Dave Anderson interview is Moving Mountains, doing a lot of great things, man. So we appreciate everybody that's new here on YouTube. Y'all watching this video, make sure y'all like this video. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Share this content. Shout out to everybody listening on RSS, whether you're on Revolt Podcast Network, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, any of the big three. Where people find their podcast. Shout out to y'all for checking us out.
Absolutely.
And finding the show. We're here today, once again, to talk about all of the biggest topics in pop culture, entertainment, news, and things like that. We got a bunch of shows out right now. Check all of them Jones out. The Cat Williams review, Mike Knox, Dave Anderson, the show we just put out, talking about Jason Whitlock, Stephen A. Like, just tons of stuff, man. We put out 2 shows a week, every week. So, if y'all a little bit behind, take some time this week to get all caught up, man. You know?
Yeah, you ain't got nothing else to do. Martin Luther King Day,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all be out here wilding. It is MLK Day this week.
Yes, it is.
I know at times Martin probably is like, damn, you know what I mean? Like, this was like, I died.
This is as good as it get, huh?
This what y'all got for me. Like, yeah. Man.
I had a tweet that did some traffic last week. I said, I know Martin and Malcolm be kicking it at Ray's Boom Boom Room. Like, damn, we really died for these niggas.
These niggas. Yeah, man. Straight up. Like,
we died for Blueface and Clarissa.
Yo.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, when I think about, back in the day, like what was I watching the other day? It was an old comedy set from Red Fox.
Okay.
At a room in Las Vegas.
Red Fox, the legend. Red Fox said, "Fuck them taxes. I ain't never paying that shit."
Yo, that Red Fox told the network to pay him in cash. That way I ain't gotta worry about no taxes.
What y'all petty cash looking like?
Yeah, it don't work like that, Fred.
We still reporting that we paid it to you, big dog. You know what I'm saying?
But I was watching one of his old comedy sets. Everybody in the crowd had a suit and tie on. I'm like, yo, that's really what like culture was back. Like, you got suited and tied to go anywhere.
Yeah, we're completely detached from the core essence of our original culture.
Yo,
black people were always very buttoned up, very prim and proper, very Sunday's best, because you almost like had to be in order to avoid certain contact with spook hunters, KKK, law enforcement, stuff like that. So it's like, yo, we made sure to make the distinction that like we are upper crust people, and we not just out here like potentially going in some white woman window.
Yeah, man. I remember we was in a barbershop and there was an old head in there getting his cut. You know them old players.
Brush their head to the back.
They sit like this.
My grandfather.
They sit like this, but he was sitting like this while he was getting his cut. And they had the Warriors on. You remember the Warriors? Mm-hmm. Warriors is one of my favorite movies ever. But they had the Warriors on in the shop, and the young boy, he had never seen the Warriors. So he was like, what the fuck is this? Like, this shit, they running all over Coney Island or whatever. So the young boy was like, man, this shit from back in the day, like, this is an old-ass movie. What this shit from, like, the 60s? And the old head in the chair, he was like, nah, young blood, this the 70s. They all got on leather vests and afros. If it was the 60s, them niggas have on suits and slickbacks. And I visualized, like, a group of niggas with suits on running all over. Because that's really...
With straight razors. What that?
You ever watch, like... The Earl Manigault story? When When he was playing ball in Rucker Park, them niggas had on trousers and button-up shirts playing basketball.
Yeah.
Everything was prim and proper back in the day. But I was watching that Red Fox shit, and I'm like, damn, everybody, and like you, almost like you had to wear a suit and a shirt when you went the fuck out. Ain't like that no more. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like, And just overall, I'm just like, I don't know if MLK would be happy. You know what I'm saying?
Something that I loved that happened this year in the fashion world, GQ made the distinction: stop wearing suits and sneakers. Like they're like, yo, it's fucking over. Leave it alone. Like we've had enough. You know what I'm saying?
It's just. And don't get it fucked up. I'm not the dress shoeiest nigga on. I got some dress shoes for tomorrow, and I'm like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. We'll see how it works. But it's like, I'm not a dress shoe person at all. But that's also why I'm not a suit person all the time, because I know that like I'm not about to put on a suit and then put on no Travis Scott sixes. You know, you look like a jackass.
Yo, man, did you? I sent that video to y'all the other day with the old head at the sneaker ball where he came in with his shoes on. He was like, they said this here is a sneaker ball. Hold on, let me. And he put on the fucking suede Royal Jordan ones. I'm just like, them Jones below retail, old head. Like, right. And it's like, and that's the problem with like sneakers with suits. Is it's like y'all don't even know what sneakers to buy.
It's just a tacky thing. It's just like to seeing y'all put on a suit with Air Force Ones, or I saw somebody the other day with black Air Force Ones on with a suit. Yeah, and I'm like, what in the fucking Papa Shango is?
Hello, like, FBI.
Yo, straight up.
I see him. He's right here.
He's right here.
Come get this nigga.
Bring the reward money with you. Yeah. The McQueen's phase, and it just man.
Trash. Like get you some shoes, man. Every man, young men included, need to have 4 or 5 suits and at least 2 good pairs of dress shoes.
Me and Chad been going suit crazy this
fucking
week.
Listen. I got a nice Ted Baker suit. You know what I'm saying?
Yo.
I'm fucking them around. I'm in there on this vibe tomorrow. You know
I got a Tommy Hilfiger joint, navy blue and shit. Yeah. I just want.
Man, I went through 60 suits in a week.
Yeah,
I've never experienced this level of anxiety in my life. I've been to jail before. You know what I'm saying? I thought bitches was pregnant. I've never been this fucking geeked out in my life.
I gave up. Yeah, I literally just like what they say, Jesus take the wheel. I do what you want with
It's going to be what it's going to be.
Told the Taylor, do what you want. Man. I don't care.
What it's going to be,
because it's like, my feet are so fucking big. I hate the tapered look at the bottom.
Yeah.
But he's like, all right, so you want no taper? I'm like, yeah. I come back and nigga, I look like Gloria Gaynor. I'm like fucking disco burning. I said, all right, man, taper it a little bit. He said, you said no taper. I'm like, well, no, we got to taper something, because no taper is crazy.
Yeah, no tape is crazy. We on motherfucking bell bottoms.
Dog. I look
Give
like,
it to me now.
I
Give it to me
I look
now.
like a Delphonic when I put that. I said, no, I can't do that one. So I just literally got to put that. I'm like, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, that shit stressed me out so bad. I went through 60 suits, man. I bought a couple, had to send suits back, had to drive to New York. That was
I called you. I'm like, you still in the York? I'm going to New York.
Go to New York.
That boy stressed.
Stressed the fuck out. So I ended up getting a suit. The joint comes to the crib. I try it on. The shit fits perfect. I'm like, yo, all I got to do is take the sleeves up a little bit, put the pants on. Pants perfect. Got to hem the pants or whatever the case may be. I'm like, all right, good. My girl aunt took care of it for me. It's all good. She's dropping it off a little bit later today. I'm good. But leading up to this, oh my goodness, I don't want to ever have to go through this again.
Yeah, no.
That's why I told Matt, I say I'm just gonna buy a suit like every 2 to 3 months. Like,
the problem is, when I started to get into the suit shit, I bought 3 of them, but I've lost more weight. And now I'm like, I put the suit on the other day. I said, what in the Kings of Comedy? I said, man, I took it to the boy. He's like, yeah, no. He's like, we got to take some of the hips off. They literally had to take like the hips off the pants because they too fucking big. And even now, still, I'm just like, it's not that look, that trim. And I'm just like, I told Lee, I'm like, I'm about to wear my tux from the wedding. She was like, you're going to look insane with a white suit on that shit. I'm like, hey, listen, that shit fit perfectly. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, yeah, the suit thing is just, I think because when you're not an everyday suit person, like my peoples who are suit people every day, it's just a suit.
Yeah.
You know, it's just it's my suit, suit, blazer, jacket, pants, trousers, shirt, button up, tie. It's normal. When you're not an everyday suit person, you like, man, I got it's all of that shit.
Got to look sharp,
Jack. Yeah. Let me tell you something, Jack. Yeah. And that drive you crazy when it don't look like pristine all the way. Because I see my peoples who wear suits every day, and it'd be like, you see him in this suit, like, that's a little wrinkled. suit a little worn down on the elbow, whatever.
Right.
But it's like, nigga got 88 suits.
Exactly.
When you on your, like, this your suit.
Yeah, it got the hit.
It got
Shit got to come together, Jack.
Shit got the hit, Jack. You seen the bitches supposed to? I don't do the. I'm regular all the time. So when I do the most, it hit. It's just like that's kind of how the suit shit is.
Yeah.
Like I put a suit on, Jack. That shit got to come together.
It got to come together.
Yeah, but tomorrow should be fun. I'm mad that it's so goddamn early. But,
Yeah,
you know.
listen, I'm damn near ready to just.
I told Lee, I was like, Chad gotta stay up. Like, just up all night.
I'm already calculating. I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, well, because it's a holiday, the traffic should be at least half.
Yeah. So, yeah, that should be fun. Congratulations, man, to Dunbar winning the Outstanding Young Lawyer Award.
Yes.
And shout out to Pastor Carl, Triple C's, the real Triple C's.
Right.
Culture Changing Christians winning the Outstanding Community Organizer Award. Both will be receiving their awards tomorrow at the Barristers. See, now I've been working at the Barristers annual MLK brunch. That should be a good time tomorrow, man. You know,
Crack of dawn.
Crack of dawn, yeah. We at the crack of dawn. But yeah, it should be a good time. I'm like, oh man, but afterwards though, I'm like, yeah, when everybody wake up,
yeah. No, at the fourth cup of coffee,
yeah. I'm bringing my sneaks. You know what I'm saying? Put them on immediately after that shit. But no, man, it should be a good time, man. Shout out to both of those brothers, friends of the show, our peoples, for getting their awards tomorrow.
Yes, indeed.
I think the big thing that went on this week, for no reason, for absolutely no reason,
none at all.
Can I start with my 1 minute? Y'all weird.
Do you think?
My y'all weird for this week here is going to modern day content creators who look for the same old adage every fucking time they do anything. Y'all gotta stop trying to go viral. I get it, because it goes viral and it fuels the nonsense more and more and more. But some of us are just above certain levels of like discussion and conversation and just want better. I'm speaking totally to Yasin Bey, formerly known as Mos Def, who was on this. I don't even know what the podcast or the platform was.
I don't know where that nigga was. He was like in front of some plants.
But I know me personally, wake up over there. I know me personally, if I sat down with Yasin Bey, formerly known as Mos Def, and had a conversation with him, I could talk about the Lyricist Lounge era. I could talk about him with Kweli and High Tech era. I know about his work at Guantanamo Bay. There's so many things you could talk about outside of, so Drake. Let's, what we think, man? Is Drake hip hop? Like, and it's done in such a nasty, negative way that there's no way for Yasin Bey to not come off like a strange individual. Like, it's almost like a setup. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's almost done for him to either be like a champion of the turtles and everyone else who lives in the sewer, or just a hating his old head alive.
Yeah. Just add another hating old head to the list.
And it's just like, and Mos Def is liked. Like, we like this nigga. We all like this nigga. Again, he brought light to the issues that were going on down there at that fucking refugee camp. Well, the prisoner camp. Yeah. He brought issue, like, he has great acting moments. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's in a bunch of shit.
Hell yeah.
Italian Job, 16 Blocks. He's in fucking Talladega Nights. Like, he just, like, for no reason, Mos Def just at the table in the job. He's a very interesting and complex person, and for this to be what he's going viral for in 2024 is just like, huh?
Yeah, I mean, when I watched the clip several times, and I've tried to like digest it and try to maybe try to shoot him some bell. You know what I'm saying? Try to be like, all right, maybe it's an overreaction, whatever. Because literally, like, there's people on both sides of this. My whole I guess it's the For You section of Twitter, whatever the fuck you call it. People you ain't following, but the shit is trending right now. That section.
Can I ask, are y'all using like actual Twitter?
Yeah.
Okay, so the apps are out.
Well, I'm using whatever the official shit is.
No, when I was on Twitter, I used to use
Oh yeah, no, that shit is over.
Tweet Logic. You remember that?
Yeah, no, I'm on an official X.
Oh, okay. So those are out.
Yeah, those are
Remember,
out.
Echofon?
Yeah. No, that was my shot.
I used to use the freak apps. Yeah, those was my Jones. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm on the Jones and I'm seeing all of this.
Because I don't remember no For You category. That's
I'm seeing all of this activity or whatever, and it's just like, it's one that's coming on top of it saying like Mos Def on some nut shit. It's another one that's coming on top of it saying, yeah, Mos Def right. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck? He is pop. Like, and it's like I'm watching the clip in its entirety over and over and over again to try to like, add or extract some context from this shit of like, how did we even get here? Mm-hmm. Because like you said, if I'm sitting down and I'm talking to Mos Def, Yasin Bey, Drake is not like, it's not even on the docket of like things that I want to talk about. Do you want to do more acting? What went on with the whole fucking immigration situation, you getting stuck in Africa and shit like that. Like, there's a lot of unanswered questions around this man that like, why are we using him in this context as like a Boosie or a Charleston White to be making some sort of like
he doesn't have many talking points
critique
through his career where we have like memorable moments of him even giving convo and Q&A to anybody.
Anywhere.
So we've never really heard him discuss the process of Miss Fat Booty or Umi Says, or how did Jordan pair with the Umi Says thing to make that this big old campaign, and we don't know any of this. Yeah. But why do I know your thoughts on Hotline Bling from Dread? Yeah. This is anything.
Like, nobody's ever like in any type of extended form interviewed him about the rape over, where he talked about, all of the crazy shit that was going on in hip hop, and a tall Israeli is running his rap shit. Like, nobody, like, so you finally get an opportunity to sit down and talk to a guy that is, one, a wealth of knowledge, two, extremely talented, and three, ingrained into 3 different decades of hip hop, and you like, all right, so for all the dogs, pump it or dump it, and it's like, what are we doing here? And trying to extract some context and really checking, really watching the clip over and over and over and over and over again, I just landed on just add him to the list. Like, he's just another hating ass old head. And for me, whenever I can't figure something out, when I can't see somebody's clear intention, I'm like, oh, there's a chick involved. Like, every single time, if 2 men are having some random issue or somebody's making an issue with somebody that's super successful, I'm like, oh, it's a chick involved. Right. Like, it's got to be somewhere down the line, somebody hit somebody's chick or came at somebody's chick or flew somebody's girl out or whatever the case may be, something of that nature. Like, it's something to this. And then, so that was my initial thought. And then I was reminded of, there was like a DM that Drake sent to some publication and was like, hey, the next time y'all review my book, can y'all have like some bad bitches review my book and not like the president of the like Mos Def fan club or whatever like that? So that's basically like, all right, so maybe this is the genesis of all of this, where it's like, oh, I'm going to get you back for this. Like, you basically like called me like a super backpack nigga, and that was a jab. So now I'm going to jab you back by saying like, you make shopping music and, your music only exists in Target. And the thing is, the argument against Drake is almost like the argument against LeBron James.
Yeah, it's just no matter what you do.
No matter what you do, we got a problem with it. And it's become socially acceptable to hate on you because of your success.
But I think it's true. But I think it's more so the fact that it's become socially acceptable to ask people from the generation before you about your success in this generation. Because in this generation, Kendrick loved the nigga.
Yeah.
J. Cole loved the nigga. Savage loved the nigga. Dirk loved the nigga. Lil Baby loved the nigga. Future loved the nigga. I don't know what's going on right now, but Future loved the nigga. Jay loves the nigga. So Meek loves the nigga. Ross loves the nigga. So if everyone in this generation loves the nigga, why is it never them? Why do you go and say, yeah, so let me ask you this, DMC, how you feel about like what's the purpose? You know
what's your thoughts on D-Fang, just recently released from prison?
Same thing with LeBron. If Jordan Crawford, Jamal fucking Tinsley, and John Wall, and Rich Paul, and Chris Paul, and Carmelo, and Chris Bosh, and Dwayne Wade, and Dirk Nowitzki, and all of these players from the last 20 years love LeBron James, why do y'all constantly go and ask, Arvydas Sabonis, You know what I'm saying? Derek Harper,
Armin Gilliam.
Yeah, like why are you asking them about you're doing it strictly for the train wreck moment. And it's like I've just gotten to the point where I'm over the senseless train wrecks.
Yeah.
Put the train on the right track and go to fuckhead with your fucking delivery.
You know where the train supposed to
like,
go.
You know where the train's supposed to go. Go to fuckhead. And I see that shit a lot in modern day media where it's like you get somebody in front of you and instead of having a great conversation, you just go left and look for the crazy ass moment. You know what my homie said the other night? I seen him in the lounge, the Sixers game, whatever. And he came up to me and was like, yo, man, I'm so proud of y'all. I'm happy with y'all, what y'all doing with the podcast, man. And he was like, I know that y'all don't get the light that some of these other publications and platforms get, but what y'all do, it needs to be highlighted and it needs to be noted. Yeah. He was like, yo, I ain't gonna front. I skipped over the interview y'all did with Nutter because he was like, I just ain't fuck with dude. Like, I didn't fuck with him. Like, I thought he was like a weirdo. I thought he was like a clown. But he was like, I heard like 6 different people was like, yo, that joint they did with Mike Nutter was all that. And he just like, I had to take a little ride. I'm like, let me check that shit out. He was like, bro, it got to the point where it was like, I caught myself rewinding this shit, like rewinding moments of the joint. He was like, it got done. He's like, yo, I had no idea that nigga was like that. I had no idea he was that down to earth and just that regular. And I'm just like, well, yeah, like that was his whole joint. Like I'm a regular guy. Like I'm a regular black man from West Philadelphia. Y'all just kind of had me messed up because a nigga was at work with the camera on all the time. You know what I'm saying? So y'all had it like fucked up. But he was like, yo, like that shit was like excellent. And I'm just like, I appreciate it. But that's the thing. We could have easily sat down in front of Nutter and been like, so let's keep it real about, and went left.
Yeah.
Jim Kenny a bitch ass nigga or what? You know, like easily. But it's like, no, you have a great conversation and you really highlight.
You and John Street, who would knock who the fuck out?
Like, dumb shit. Dumb shit. But when you sit down and have these good ass conversations, it take a little bit longer because there's no sensationalism that's gonna make me say, oh, let me click on this because it's a fucking train wreck.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
The biggest problem that I had with Mos Def said, even understanding that it's probably a shot and a retort about the Drake said thing about the book review or whatever the case may be. The dishonest part about it is it's like, well, what happens when this thing starts to crumble and starts to fall apart and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, nigga, we're on year 15. Yeah. What are you talking about? Like, as of the last 3 years, the man has put out like 6 #1 albums or some shit for All the Dogs, Her Loss, Honestly Nevermind, which I think debuted at #2 maybe. I don't know. Was that #2 or #1? Whatever it did. CLB. Like, all of this fucking music, he's got the #1 grossing hip-hop tour of all time right now, and there's 25 more shows to go for the legs with J. Cole. So it's like, you know, when you talk about, like, impact.
No, it was the #1.
#1.
And it had a #1 song, Jimmy Cooks.
See what I'm saying? So it's like, so when you're just manufacturing #1 albums, #1 songs, time and time and time and time again. If Drake does a song with Matt tomorrow, Matt is instantly thrust into the goddamn immediate public eye in the pantheon of whatever the fuck is going on with rap.
It'll cost you $25,000 to get me on this shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like overnight.
Yeah, seriously.
So it's like, with that in mind, it's like, yo, how can we diminish? If you want to say you got, you know, the last whatever music wasn't for you, or he's checking too many boxes and being too versatile, whatever, that's fine because that's an opinion. But once you start trying to make claims against the solidarity of the foundation of the industry of Drake, that's when you get to start being dishonest and making it seem like something is happening that's not happening. Like you're trying to start a narrative.
We trying to start the plant shit.
Trying to start the
and
plant
it's just,
shit.
I hope we don't get to that point where it's like, we seen the boy perform in them little rooms and the Degrassi and shit. Like, why do we got to do this?
Somebody pointed out on one of the posts that I was looking at was like, he's like, I know Mos Def hasn't listened to any Drake music in the last 3 years because he actually referenced Mos Def on Far From Home, where he's like, Mos Def gave me like a rack performance. Like, so it's like, motherfuckers will take all of the bad, none of the good, and will judge you solely off of the bad, or they feel like they were slighted and not give you no credit for the fact that they acknowledge that you were integral in their career and helping to monetize what the fuck they were trying to do as an artist.
Yeah.
And people go with and people are waiting to pounce on some shit like that to go because there's already enough established hate for Drake, for LeBron, for somehow, some way it turned on Wayne. They don't diss Wayne no more. Like, have you noticed that the internet sentiment for Wayne is like Wayne is the GOAT? Like, just suddenly
it's an uphill battle that you was never gonna win. It's just reality. Yeah. Like Wayne was too good.
Yeah.
He really, like, I got Wayne in my top 5 for a reason. Out of everybody I got in my top 5, which is Jay, Nas, Pac, Biggie, and Wayne. That's my top 5.
Yeah.
Wayne is the one where from jump, he really didn't have a path to being number 5. Jay had the path. Biggie had the path. Pac had the path, and so did Nas. Yeah. From jump, from the gun bust. But you know who else was there or should be there? Like Ice Cube. He had the path from jump. Yeah. Snoop Dogg had the path from jump. Big Pun had the path from jump. Scarface. Yeah. These people all had a path to being the best rapper alive. Lil Wayne didn't. Lil Wayne started rapping when he was 12. When 12-year-olds start rapping in rap, they're normally done when they're 19. Yeah. They're novelty acts by the time they're 23. Especially when you blow with some wobbity shit. Yeah. You're normally a novelty act. I can name a gazillion of them, and this ain't a diss, but I know what Jibs and Chingy and all these different guys were. For their time, they was lit, and they made popping-ass songs and music, but you don't have a path to being the GOAT or one of the best rappers alive.
Just made some good songs.
It doesn't happen. So for Wayne to navigate those waters, essentially in a canoe, and to where he changed the look, the sound, the energy, the way people put songs together, mixtapes. Lil Wayne got more boxes checked than everybody I got in my top 5. Right. So it was an argument that just didn't make any sense from jump. But how do you argue with a nigga where I'm here and Jay-Z is breaking his neck to do songs with me? Think about that. The 12-year-old wobbly and Jay-Z in a presidential rollie and a bulletproof vest is on songs saying, I might get this to the mixtape Weezy.
Right.
That's not supposed to happen. Yeah. So it was never an argument to begin with.
Yeah, so it's so amazing.
I didn't mean
breakdown.
To get that passionate. Because it was always so stupid to me.
But to see people finally turn the corner in mass, it's like when you look at just talking points on Twitter, when you look at like the comments and shit, when anything goes up around Weezy on Say Cheese or Academics, Weezy the GOAT, he the greatest, when you see polls and stuff on these YouTube channels, on the community posts and all of that shit, who's the best out of this? It's always overwhelmingly Wayne.
And you know something else that happened in Lil Wayne's career that finally like etched it in stone? And to be fair, it's going to have to happen for Drake and LeBron. They got to go sit down. Lil Wayne really sat down for 4 or 5 years to where Carter 1, Carter 2, mixtape, Carter 3, Carter 4, mixtape. Lil Wayne went, Dan. Lil Wayne went and sat down. Yeah. And when Wayne sat down, it made the whole industry say, damn, we miss Wayne. Mm-hmm. Carter 5 drops, does more numbers than anything out at the fuck. And that's what happened. And where instead of critiquing Carter 5 with the energy that they critique Carter 3 and Carter 4 with, people was just appreciative. They was just happy
to glad we got this.
They was just happy to get another Carter. So where Drake has been consistently dropping every fucking year, we gotta like wait for Drake to take 3 or 4 years off to be like, damn man, I miss certain songs. I miss to where imagine if Drake would have just said, yeah, I'm chilling. I'm good.
That was the plan.
I'm up $1 billion. I got this jet. I got this mansion. I'ma just relax for a couple years. And then we let y'all feast off of all these rappers who ain't really the fuck Drake. Mm-hmm. And then he comes back in 3 years with that shit he did on the fucking extra deluxe shit with the conductor beat. And imagine if he do that. Yeah. The fucking world catches on fire. Yeah. And we've seen Drake do it time and time again. We've seen the Scary Hours 1, the Scary Hours 3, all these different moments. It's inning, but you got to go sit down. LeBron went to 8 straight finals. It's just it's almost like annoying to people. Yeah, you know what I mean. And Lil Wayne was in that boat.
People get winner's fatigue.
Winner's fatigue. To where it's like, man, just go sit down somewhere and let us. You almost got to like give people a chance to reset. Like let their eyes refocus on some shit and let them go see a bunch of bullshit going on. Then you come back. You know who understands that very, very well in music? Well, at least for the time period he did, was Rick Ross. Rick Ross knew how to get in and get the fuck out. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give you a hot-ass track, then I'm going to give you another hot-ass track. I'm going to dance around like a fool for a little minute. I'm going to drop the album. Y'all going to eat it up, tell me I'm the best at picking beats, and then I'm going over here to Wingstop. Yeah. Y'all be good till the fall. That was real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
With my 700,000 units and I'm out y'all hair.
I'm out y'all hair. Listen.
I got a 50-50 joint venture. So 700,000, that's like
good money to me.
That's like $2 million for another nigga.
Seriously. And I think Drake is just Charlemagne. Remember Charlemagne did is the Drake era over like 6 years ago?
Yeah, Wayno did it too. Shout out my nigga Wayne.
Like they did that shit like 6-7 years ago. And since that time, Drake has outperformed the prior 6-7 years.
Yeah.
And that makes everybody like kind of like grit their teeth and stand on the edge of the curb. You ever see a motherfucker looking for the bus? They like that when it comes to the end of the Drake shit. So that's how you get Yasin in an interview talking about like what happens when it crumbles about a nigga who done made $1 billion and the owner of Universal is like, yeah, he doesn't have a budget.
Yeah, he gets whatever
Think
he
about
wants.
how crazy that is. The CEO of Universal has gone on record and said, yeah, Drake doesn't have a budget.
The last person that was like that at Universal was Marshall, was Eminem, and it was never publicly pronounced. I knew because we knew somebody that worked in accounting department for Universal Music, and they was basically like, yeah, Marshall, Eminem I'm talking about, doesn't have a budget. Like, it's whatever he said. So if he called and said, yo, I'm about to turn in this album, I need 19 million, cool, no problem. If he called and say I need 85 million, cool, no problem. We cut him a check, and it is what it is because we know he's going to recoup. I think right before he put out the Recovery album, the joint that did like 750 the first week. Everybody thought he was done, and he did 750 the first week. I was like, oh shit, Marshall still got it. But he took like a $19 million advance on that. They was like, yeah, he was recouped in 2 weeks.
I remember. No, like, and things like this make people overanalyze and undershoot people's like lives.
Yeah.
Because I saw a lot of that the other day. I saw people with the energy of, who the fuck is Mos Def and what has he done? And I'm like, I don't like that. Because Mos has done a lot. But that's the problem with this. It's like, you now have to put Mos Def's career up against the biggest musician. Not trying to be funny. At this point, it's Drake and then it's everyone else. That includes Elvis. That includes Madonna. That includes Michael Jackson. Nigga, I'm sorry. It's just reality. He's done too much.
The problem with Drake is that he's become such a polarizing figure that people refuse to give just a fair analysis of what he actually is. And it's like, yo, when you look at his career and you break down his music, if you did a fucking pie chart and you break down his music, 40% is hip hop, 40% is soul, R&B, the other 20% is a mixture of pop, reggaeton, Afrobeat, London grime, it's like a mishmash in that other 20%. But the crux of what he's doing, the far lion's share is 80% is hip hop and R&B or rap and R&B. So how the fuck is he then not hip hop if hip hop and R&B are together symbiotically? They're on the chart together, and he's rapping and doing soul music, and some shit just so happens to go pop. And then it's like motherfuckers wanted to drill down on like, oh, pop is just short for popular, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but pop music is its own genre.
Right.
And y'all don't get to tell me and lie to Matt and lie to Dan and say that Drake is making pop music when none of his sensibilities are the same as what Katy Perry, Olivia Rodrigo, Taylor Swift, Backstreet Boys, and NSYNC did. That's pop music.
Right. I'll say this, and I saw one girl try to basically like, people are mad at Mos Def for asking, you know, where's the meat and potatoes to your musical, you know, what they call it, like your catalog, and the girl is like, rap music comes from elevating and inspiring people to basically opt out of what's going on and create your own thing. And I'm just like, I think you're basically putting like it takes a nation of million like cloak over the whole hip hop.
So if you ain't doing that, then it ain't hip hop.
Because I'm like, Rapper's Delight wasn't that. You know what I'm saying?
No.
It's Tricky from Run DMC wasn't that. Like
Walk This Way from Run DMC was not that.
It wasn't
you don't get no more pop. They gave up 100% of the publishing in order to clear that record with Aerosmith in order to cross over and get the audience.
And Aerosmith had did the song 4 years before. You know the song had been out.
Yes.
Same lyrics and all of that shit. That was Aerosmith's song. So it's like you don't get more crossover or pop than that.
Yes.
So that wasn't what hip hop was. this is my story and this is who I am, and I'm gonna put it out to the world. This is why at the same time you can have Chuck D and Flavor Flav and have Kid and Play. Exactly. And Chuck D and Flavor Flav can literally drop, you know, what was the song for Do the Right Thing? Fight the Power. Yeah. And Kid and Play can put out Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody. Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody, and they can literally be tearing it up on two different things. That's hip hop. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's like saying, oh well, because you not Ice Cube and you know what's Straight Outta Compton? What's the group?
NWA.
I can't remember nothing.
What's the group?
Because you not Ice
Who them niggas?
Because you not Ice Cube and NWA, now I'm supposed to turn my back on Heavy D and the Boys. And It's just like, no. Ice Cube wrote Boys in the Hood for Easy and Straight Outta Compton. But Heavy D wrote the theme song to In Living Single. You need all of these people. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And it's like to say that, how the fuck we gonna say In Living Color ain't hip hop?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where it gave us Jennifer Lopez. It gave us fucking Jamie Foxx. It gave us Tommy Davis. And
Sean and Marlon Wayans.
It's just like, you can't do that.
David Allen Greer.
And Heavy D was on, like, think about it. There was a time period where it was like, hearing these theme songs was like, remember the Living Single theme song or the Martin theme song and all this shit? Like, it's just, that's part of the game. So how do you have one without the other? And people had this thing, especially those, like we always make the joke, those lyrical miracle, you know, what's the term we always use?
Bomb atomically
niggas, where it's like, if you not champion hoodie, you know, 40 ounce,
yeah, if you ain't got the super Tims up to here,
you not hip hop. And it's like, I'm here to tell you, Ice-T had a perm and his nails done. That nigga was hip hop.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Ice-T loved hip hop so much, he went against his own crew and his immediate circle of influence to do hip hop.
Ice-T was hip hop, dog. Luke was hip hop. Me So Horny, nigga, that was hip hop. Luke went to the Supreme Court and beat them niggas. That was hip hop. So it's like, I hate at times where y'all sit and be like, if you not lyrical, miracle, spiritual in it on every motherfucking track, then you not hip hop. And it's like, that was the whole Lil Wayne shit years ago where it's just like, no. I don't have to do that at all. Yeah. I actually can do anything. I can wear big furry boots and I'll rap all you niggas.
Yep. And then you had lyrical, miracle, smirical niggas like Royce and Hobson and all of them niggas like, yo, I had to come back around and recognize like Wayne for his greatness because I was so looking at hip hop like in this box of like what the fuck it's supposed to be, and I missed all of this great ass fucking music and these great fucking punchlines and like these fucking, you know, these genre bending moments and shit because I was like stuck in a box. And it's like, you can't be an elitist like that when it comes to fucking hip hop because the genre is ever expanding. You got motherfuckers in Korea and in fucking Laos and all of that shit doing their version of hip hop. You got Italian drill music right now. Motherfuckers doing drill music, rapping in fucking Italian. Like, we don't get to, once we create this art form and put it out there, we don't get to gatekeep and control and say what's less hip hop or more hip hop or none of that shit because they all have a fucking place. Now, their hip hop is the umbrella, and this is where niggas have the problem. I'm gonna show y'all like a flow chart. Hip hop is the umbrella. Underneath the umbrella, there's plenty of sub-genres of hip hop. There's gangster rap / reality rap. There's conscious rap. There's, you know, the super lyrical shit. There's drill rap now. There's like, you know, like the more pop influenced rap, like what MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice did. So it's like, so you basically telling me that Drake is making, if Drake is pop and MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice are pop, you telling me that Drake is making the same type of music that MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice made that was blatantly trying to go fucking pop? Like, y'all are being dishonest. And that's my problem with the whole sentiment around the shit and half of the talking points, because the other half are like, y'all niggas tripping. And that half, I'm inclined to believe is right, because y'all are just lying to get a point across. Yeah. Y'all trying to start a narrative and you're lying to do so.
We've seen it time and time again. When Nas came out with Illmatic, and Illmatic was praised from the jump, it was praised not just because of Nas' lyrical ability, but because the production was like out of this world on there. And it wasn't what production became from hip hop later on, where what Puff and all of them did once Biggie died, where they started sampling all the old school music. But I was watching this thing the other day where it was like, when Biggie and Pac got murdered, motherfuckers on there like, yo, we thought rap was going to end. Like, we legitimately, because like the news, the outlets, all of them is like, oh, this shit is too real. People are getting killed. We don't want our kids listening to this shit. Remember, they was already steamrolling albums in the street and all that crazy shit. C. Dolores Tucker and Bob Dole and all them motherfuckers. They were like, we thought hip hop was done. What Puff did was he went and started sampling the music that the kids who they didn't want listening to the rap music, their parents were listening to that. He started sampling, you know, Juicy Fruit and Diana Ross and Sting and all of the music that was great from the 70s and 80s, Casey and the Sunshine Band, all these different people, to where the parents was like, oh man, I know that.
Yeah.
Put that on. And now the kids love it because that's Bad Boy or that's Death Row. And that becomes the wave of the future. Yep. You look at Ja Rule Blue, to everybody that be living it up, you say, that's Stevie Wonder. Like, it's just seeing that over and over and over again, where it got to the point where Jay-Z and Nas, like the biggest and best rappers out, was coming in off of samples from the 70s and 80s. And it brought hip-hop to the forefront of fucking music.
Yes.
A lot of those conscious rappers, they felt too ingratiated in whatever the fuck they was doing at the time, where it's like, I can't do that crossover shit. I can't do that sellout. That was when that whole, because remember, sellout rap didn't happen back in the day. How'd you have that when, like, a lot of people don't even dig it. California Love is Joe Cocker. That's a rock sample.
Right.
Thus, I'm dun 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 dun. It's the same shit. Dre just dropped the fucking bass line in it. All of that shit is from like the, you know, they call it G-Funk, like George Clinton and all. All that shit is sampled.
Yeah, Bootsy Collins, all of that shit.
All that shit is sampled. So it's like
either sampled or replayed.
Back in the day, you didn't have that though. You know, you didn't have, oh, he crossed over and he sold out. But in the 90s, towards the end, you just had this weird, nasty energy of, if you sell a lot of records, somehow you crossed over.
Yeah, if your music
out.
is popular, it's automatically pop music.
And it's like no, Coolio on Gangsta's Paradise is talking real gangsta shit. Yeah. That's a real gangsta-ass record.
That's a reality rap record.
It just happened to go to fuck pop.
It caught.
Bone Thugs and Harmony, Crossroads. That's as real as it could fucking possibly get. Yeah. It just happened to sell 8 million copies. Yeah.
Like,
we sorry, guys.
Yeah,
like,
do niggas think Bone Thugs was in the studio? Like, I know this going down.
Man, we gonna get on motherfucking MTV.
Because when you said I miss my Uncle Charles, y'all, that's gonna be the one. It's like, they didn't know that.
No. It don't work like that. Sometimes you just catch one. Yeah. That's the way it worked. You think Busta Rhymes thought he was crossing over with Hoo Ha got you all in check?
Oh, no.
The damn song is called Hoo Ha. How the fuck is I'm supposed to expect MTV to pick this shit up?
And there's so many elements of creationism when you are creating, you know, hip hop and rap records and stuff like that. You don't know what's going to carry that shit forward. You don't know if it's going to be the hook. You don't know if it's going to be the lyrics. You don't know if it's going to be the music video. You don't know what's going to make this shit
to the point up. I was watching the docuseries and they were talking about the Seattle grunge and how that caught fire in the early 90s. And the girl was on there. She was basically the former VP of videos at MTV. And she said in 1992, she was working in the music video room at MTV, and Aerosmith was dropping their new song, and she was like, rock and roll at that time was in like a weird transition. Like, the rock and roll legends of the 70s and 80s were all megastars. You know, Aerosmith, Metallica, Red Hot Chili Peppers, all these different guys. They were huge, but the 90s just brought about such a realness in music that, like, being overly produced and overly worked wasn't like a
stripped
thing.
Down was the way to go.
And she was like, Aerosmith was releasing their new video, and they came to the MTV offices with a bag of money. Like, they showed her, they had like a trash bag full of money on some, like, yeah, make sure our video get in rotation next week, whatever. And she was like, one of my assistants boarded in this video, and she was like, it literally came on, and just like the first 10 seconds, it was like, oh, this is hip. This feels young and energetic. And it was Nirvana Smells Like Teen Spirit. And it that shit, she turned it on and was just like, oh, this is it. So she showed it to her bosses. It was like, this needs to go into the rotation. And they were like totally against it. Like, no, this is not. She was like, I'll bet my career on this shit. Like, if this shit don't go and don't work, she's like, take me out the video room. She's like, they put that shit in there. 2 weeks later, it was the most requested video on MTV. Mm-hmm. And next thing you know, Kurt Cobain had a whole revolution behind him, to where then you get they were talking about all the different groups, the Foo Fighters and all that shit that came from what the Seattle grunge created. And it's just like, yeah, that was literally how music, it was like, yo, you got rock and roll, but then you got grunge rock, you got soft rock. And it's like, why are all these other genres allowed to have subcultures, but rap can't?
Yeah, it's just one thing.
It's just rap.
One monolith.
And yeah, and it's like, it don't work like that.
Yeah, it's super dishonest, man. And that's my only issue against it. Is just like, if y'all hating, just say, I don't like the nigga. He's a nut. Like, just
too many hoes.
Stop trying to mask it around some other thing when in reality it's like the nigga sent my bitch a DM. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure his dick was in there. I jumped out of the DM before I seen it. Like, just say what it is. Like, it's like y'all want to pussyfoot around shit instead of because again. As men, there's an inherent threat of violence. Niggas be trying to avoid getting punched in the face. So it's like they're going to use certain coded language in order to say what they really want to say, which is, he's a bitch-ass nigga, I don't like him, I don't be appreciating XYZ that the nigga be doing. And so instead of saying that, because that can lead to a punch in the face, you say, oh, he makes music that's compatible with shopping. And it's like, what in the passive-aggressive, soft-ass shit is this?
Yeah, like I said, I put Drake in. I've compared him to LeBron many times on the show where you just take the game somewhere else and you do it through longevity and doing shit that a lot of motherfuckers just can't do. And that makes people feel away. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just reality. You look at the NBA right now. Shea is on a tear. Jason Tatum is one of the best young players. Nikola Jokic might be the best player in the NBA. Embiid is phenomenal. All of that shit is dope. Ain't none of y'all niggas LeBron James. And that's just the reality. When he walk in, everything shifts. It don't matter if he winning at the moment or if he even playing at the moment. I'm LeBron. You not him.
Did you see that video LeBron at I think it was at a college game?
Oh, the white boy.
The white boy was like,
yeah.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
Because it's LeBron. Like, it's literally the equivalent of seeing, like, it's like seeing Jay or seeing Jordan or seeing Michael Jackson, because it's just like, oh shit, this might be the best that ever did it. That puts motherfuckers on alert. It's like, not trying to be funny. It's a lot of NBA all-stars who could walk into that gym and just walk in and sit down. Motherfuckers would be like, oh, there goes so-and-so. But it's like LeBron walk in, it freezes everybody. It's like, oh shit, LeBron in this gym. Reality. I thought the shit was weird, and I'm just like, yo, Drake eventually he got to go just sit down. That's just reality.
Yeah.
Just take some time off, let people miss you.
It ain't even got to be extended period of time. Take 2 years off. Take 2 years off. You know what I'm saying? Get off this tour. Take off the rest of 24 and 25. And them motherfuckers will be begging you to drop some goddamn music.
Please, Aubrey. Please. We is sick of this shit here.
NBA YoungBoy just released his 9th diss record against Charlamagne the God. Like, please come back.
Straight up, man. Switching gears just a little bit. I want to throw this out real quick because I know you got some other shit. 2 questions.
Yes.
Is Bill Belichick the best coach in NFL history?
Is Bill Belichick the best coach in NFL history? At a time, I would have said yes.
I was going to ask, do you think this last 2 years...
He got exposed.
Fucked it up?
Fucked it up. He got exposed.
Like, if he left when Brady left...
It's nothing to talk about. But
one of those, like, you peeled the curtain back and we saw that it ain't no locker room back there. It ain't no...
defensive mind, greatest defensive mind, as far as like a defensive lead coach, coordinator, all of that shit, bar none. But when you talk about head coaching, I think that there may be, maybe 1 or 2 people ahead of him.
The only thing that I had a conversation with my homie the other day. The thing with Bill Belichick is he comes from someone's tree and he doesn't have his own, like, tree. Yeah. The people who were up under him are kind of like...
They're all fuck-ups.
They're kind of faltering out there in the world. Shanahan, Patricia, they're kind of like fucking up a little bit.
What's his main guy? Fucking Josh?
He
get fired everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere, yeah. And for what it's worth, he comes from the Bill Parcells tree. Yes. And that's kind of how NFL works, where it's like, do you have like Mike Holmgren, Walsh, Bill Parcells, these niggas is it. And you talk about like the Marty Schottenheimers and all these different dudes who come up under all this shit. Andy Reid is under the motherfucking Holmgren tree.
Yep.
So them two niggas at the top is just like, man.
Yeah.
Andy mustache had ice in it yesterday. He was still out there. No, nigga, second down, get down. Like, these are some coaches out there.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's just Bill Belichick just caught the perfect storm of everything. You had Brady emerge at the right time. Yep. Your defense emerged at the right time. Y'all made the key picks in getting this person, getting this person.
Y'all had the best cap manipulator in the history of the fucking NFL.
Y'all wound up getting the best field goal kicker. Y'all had the best center. Y'all had, like, the Patriots was just loaded all the fucking time.
I think that having Tom Brady was such a luxury that I think even Belichick at times didn't realize how much of a luxury he had. Because at times you had Matt Castle come in there and still go 11-5. Mm-hmm. You had fucking porn star Jimmy come in, they go 10-6, shit like. So it's like you had these stopgap moments where you're like, oh, it's the system. This is the system. But it's like, yeah, all those Super Bowls was hoisted by TB12. Mm-hmm. None of these other niggas didn't lead you to no goddamn Super Bowl.
The first couple was the defense more but after like the second joint, it was all Tom Brady.
TB12. And it's like, you know, I think, Belichick got exposed a little bit, and either the game passed him by or caught up to him. Either way, because they were just because he was the GM and the VP of football operations also, and they just weren't selecting the right players. They picking the wrong guys to play quarterback. Cam Newton should have never been there. Yeah. Like, it's just certain shit. It was just like, all right, we just reaching at this point. Like, what are we doing here?
Somebody the other day was like, yo, staying too long can definitely be the joint that fuck you up in the long run.
Yes, indeed.
Like my homie the other day, he said, Draymond Green. He was like, yo, for what it's worth, if Draymond Green decides to hang it up like right after 19, it's like, yo, Draymond's going to the Hall of Fame, but it's like now it's like you still got the accolades and the championships and the defensive player of the year, but it's like,
you a nut ass nigga.
He's
now.
like, you got like one more incident before you might make it into the WBC Hall of Fame before you get into the NBA Hall of Fame. I'm like,
because at this point you just deducting points because you ain't winning no more championships.
No, that's kind of
so you're not winning no more defensive player of the years. You're not winning no more championships.
Well, after 21, I should say, when they won the championship.
You're not going to no more
honestly,
All-Star
after
games.
that one they won against Boston, where everybody thought, okay, Golden State's not winning no more championships post the Kevin Durant ever. Once they get that, if all three of them decide we done, y'all are like a super legacy type thing. And Draymond just nightly is just to the point now where like we're looking at Klay Thompson being garbage. We're looking at Draymond being out of his mind. We're looking at the Warriors questioning Steve Kerr, where 4 years ago, it was like Steve Kerr is the best basketball mind we've ever seen. Yeah. You could put him up there with Phil Jackson and Pop. That was the way motherfuckers was acting. And now every day, Kuminga's like, I don't know what the fuck this nigga, little white nigga doing. Like, every day is some bullshit. Steph Curry.
They got to blow it all up.
Steph Curry is like, I don't know. Steph can't shoot y'all back into a game right now.
Steph should be looking to get traded.
Ross said that shit the other day.
In the classiest way possible, not like a Kobe going on the radio like these bitch ass niggas need to trade me to Phoenix or Chicago right now. Like he should do it in the classiest way possible, but this needs to be his last year in Golden State.
Yeah, it's run its course.
It's run its course. It's over. Yeah. And it would have been he should have had a Tim Duncan type career where he got to retire, a Kobe Bryant type where he get to retire in one uniform, but like they fucked him around. Yeah, bad.
Honestly, when what's his name left? The GM, Myers.
He saw it.
Yeah, yeah. What Barkley said, man, you need an award. Myers said for what? He was like, for knowing when to get off the ship. And he burst out laughing like, dog.
And Bob is phenomenal on TV.
Yeah, he's real good.
So I bounced with my 4 rings, all my motherfucking conference championships, all that money.
Yeah, out of here.
Out of here, goddamn it. This shit about to be fucked up.
Yeah. Who the Warriors playing tonight? The Mavericks. Oh man, Mavericks -8. You know, what else we got tonight? Like straight up. So let me ask you this. Belichick is Nick Saban.
Hands down.
Hands down?
Nothing
got
even
him over Bear Bryant and all that?
Hands down. Because he did it in a more competitive era.
I got Nick Saban. I got him as the number one. Jules will hear this and give us his input. I got Nick Saban because he's a vicious college football fan. I got Nick Saban at 1 for the longevity of what he was doing regular season to he has like, I think it's like 12 straight double-digit win seasons. And if he like, they only play 11 games. Like,
he's the most insane Nick Saban graphic I've seen. 29 losses career as a college coach. 44 first-round picks.
Yeah.
44.
He got like 100 people in the league.
Yes.
Yeah.
His tree is ridiculous.
It's insane. They were showing the joint the other day. It was like, if you put all of the Alabama players on one team in the NFL, they probably beat any fucking thing.
They go undefeated.
It's just insane. The defense alone, it's like, you know, Trayvon Diggs, all the motherfuckers came from over there.
Yeah.
It's just never mind the quarterbacks and shit, but just the defensive side of shit is like
Defensive side, running backs, like
it's nuts.
edge rushers,
It's
interior
nuts.
alignment.
Dog, Derrick Henry was over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you got Nick Saban as one.
I got Nick Saban as one.
All right. You know Derrick Henry is done in Tennessee. He had like his thank you game. He wound up having like the best game of the season, whatever. So I had the conversation with a friend of mine or whatever. He's like a football person. And I said Derrick Henry to me might have the best running back career ever. And he was like, I don't agree with that. I don't think he's the best running back in NFL history. I'm like, I didn't say NFL history. I said, I think he might have the best running back career ever. Hear me out. Have you ever seen his high school numbers?
Oh, it's
They're
unbelievable.
absolutely insane.
He's a man amongst boys.
It's absolutely insane. 3 state championships, broke all the fucking records for the state in running back. He goes to Alabama,
Yeah.
breaks all kinds of records as a running back, wins a Heisman, goes, what was he, number what in the draft? I think he was
Top 5 or 6.
one of them, 3 or 4 or some shit like that. He has an outstanding high school career, outstanding collegiate career, and wins a Heisman as a running back. He comes to the NFL and has an outstanding NFL career.
Oh no, he was a second round pick.
45th
right. Overall.
And I remember seeing that, and I was thinking, like, how the fuck was Derrick Henry in the second round?
Yeah, he was the
absolutely
second running back taken that year. Ezekiel Elliott went
Ezekiel
number 4.
Elliott went number 4. There you go. Fucking Derrick, I knew it was somebody went number 4. I couldn't think of it. Derrick Henry smashes high school, annihilates college, win the Heisman, comes to the NFL, and he's been the best running back of the last decade.
Yeah.
Hands down. He has a 2,000-yard season, which only 8 people have. He's won multiple Offensive Player of the Year awards. He's led the league in rushing multiple times. He's led the league in touchdowns multiple times. I'm like, yo, when you add in high school, college, and NFL, he's had like the best running back career of all time, dog.
He has had double-digit touchdowns 6 years in a row.
Dog, like Derrick Henry, you know what the crazy part is? You couldn't tell him apart from like, you know, Bismarck. You don't know what the fuck he looked like at the time. He could walk down the street, motherfuckers would not notice that was him.
In a down season where he was hurt half the season, he still had 937 yards and 10 touchdowns.
Dog.
In 2021.
He's the only, like, not trying to be funny. In Tennessee, it's him, 3-6 Mafia, and Young Buck. That's it. Until Ja got there.
Yeah, no, this is crazy. He has for his career 2,030 attempts, 9,502 yards, 4.7 yards per
He
carry,
averages more yards than Emmett.
and 90 touchdowns.
I'm telling you, dog, like, when you factor in his collegiate shit and high school, I'm like, Derrick Henry might be the best running back ever, dog.
No, you make a strong ass case.
Because think about how many running backs who was the shit in the NFL didn't win the Heisman.
Right.
And think about how many motherfuckers who won the Heisman. Look at Reggie Bush. Look at, like, how many people who win the Heisman don't really get their footing in the NFL. It's rare you get an OJ.
Yeah.
Who wins the Heisman and then has a 2. I think, honestly, Derrick Henry and OJ might be the only ones.
Yeah, so he's a one-time All-American, 2015 Heisman, 2015 SEC Offensive Player of the Year, 13, 14, 15 at Alabama. He had 3,591 yards, 6 yards per carry, 42 touchdowns, 17 receptions for 285 yards, another 3 touchdowns there, and 3,876 yards from scrimmage, 6.3 yard average, 45 touchdowns from scrimmage.
That's in college.
That's in college.
Dog.
His last year at Alabama, he fucking had 395 carries for 2,219 yards and 28 touchdowns.
Hold on, I'm about to tell you.
Yeah, Derrick Henry is a beast.
All right, look at the list real quick. Did Eric Dickerson win a Heisman?
I think he did. Eric Dickerson. I feel like he did. Dickerson. No, I don't think he did. He was an All-American. Yeah, Eric Dickerson did not win the Heisman. He was an All-American, though.
Chris Johnson didn't win a Heisman. Did Adrian Peterson win a Heisman?
I think he did. I'm very sure he did. Because he was fucking crazy at Oklahoma. 2004.
Adrian Peterson won a Heisman. Did Barry Sanders win a Heisman?
I believe he did. Because I just watched the Barry Sanders documentary on Amazon Prime. Plug. It is amazing. 1988
Heisman won. Okay. So Barry won one, AP won one, OJ won one, Derrick Henry won one, and I know Jamal Lewis didn't win one.
No.
Terrell Davis didn't win a Heisman, did he?
No.
So it's just Derrick Henry, OJ, Barry Sanders, and AP. Those are only 4 human beings to win a Heisman in college and have a 2,000-yard season in the NFL.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So we all know AP is that nigga.
Yes.
We all got OJ as that nigga. And we all know Barry Sanders is that nigga. Once you factor in Derek P's collegiate career and his high school career, it's not even nothing to argue about, dog.
All right, so modern era running backs that won the Heisman. We're going to go from O.J. Simpson forward. So 1968 forward. O.J. Simpson, Steve Owens from Oklahoma. I don't know who that is.
No, I wasn't looking for all the Heisman. I was just talking about the Heisman winners who ran for 2,000.
Oh, for ran for 2,000.
Because there's only 8 people who ran
that's
for 2,000.
That's a whole nother class.
I'm looking at is Eric Dickerson, Chris Johnson, Adrian Peterson, Barry Sanders, Jamal Lewis, OJ, TD, and Derrick Henry.
Did Mark Ingram run for 2,000? No, but he won. He won it.
Mark Ingram tore it up in college that year. Dog, rushing for 2,000 is not normal.
Yeah, Derrick Henry was the last one. Was 2015, last one to rush for 2,000 yards.
And that was the first one since AP.
Yeah,
like it's not normal to rush for 2,000.
No, hell no.
Look at CMC.
You only got 15 games.
Like CMC not getting there. Like you gotta really not trying to be funny. If you got now we got the 17 game, but at 16 games you essentially got to rush for $125 a game. Every game, like just from the jump.
So that's beyond being featured. Like
so, if you have a game where you do 117, you're not trending the right way.
Yeah, you behind the 8 ball.
Yeah, you behind now. So it's like to rush for 2,000 is fucking nuts. And Derrick Henry's doing this shit where like he don't really got like a memorable line.
Yeah. Oh, limited space. All right, we good. We still got 14 minutes.
Yeah, about to say.
I was getting worried. Give you a 15-minute warning. Shout out to Roadcaster.
But you know, at the end of the day, it's like in the grand scheme of things, I'm more sorry. It was just a conversation. I'm like, and it's like, when you factor in everything he's done, again, Lil Wayne with the check marks. I check off most boxes that most people can never touch. Yeah. Just me checking off the 2,000 yards, John. It's only 7 other people. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So if I check off 2,000 yards in the NFL and check off a Heisman, it's 4 of us.
Exactly.
It's me, OJ, fucking AP, and Barry Sanders.
Yeah. Has he ever won Offensive Player of the Year?
Twice.
Oh, well.
That's what I'm saying. He's literally done everything, and he did it with a black visor and no O-line. Yeah. So I'm just like, Derrick Henry really, really is that, yo.
And I think he still got 3-4 good years.
He gonna end up this year going to the Rams or Oakland or something crazy and being a boost to they fucking, running back situation.
He only 8 years in the league.
Yeah.
So he's putting all decade type numbers up in only 8 seasons. That in itself is impressive when you extrapolate all of it, man. So no, you made that's a good pool.
Last John, a couple minutes, real quick. How do you feel about Eric Spoelstra getting the most guaranteed money in NBA?
I think he deserves it. I think top to bottom, when you talk about X's and O's, when you talk about being a motivating force, when you talk about being an extension of the front office and ownership, Eric Spoelstra is the best coach in the NBA, bar none. There's always going to be a case for Pop because he, is the greatest NBA coach of all time. But when you talk about like right now, from 2010 to now, it's been Spoelstra, and nobody gets more done with less than Eric Spoelstra in the Miami Heat.
I think that I watched this thing about Heat culture, and seeing, they have a body fat rule on the team, and they have
cardio requirements.
I watched this thing the other day with Tyler Herro. If he hit 6, ran the length of the court and hit 6 straight threes, Spo would let him leave practice early. And it was like a big deal because Spo don't let nobody leave early.
Right.
Tyler Herro ran down the court, pulled up for 3, nailed it. Ran down the other end of the court, pulled up for 3, nailed it. Ran down for the 3, pulled up, nailed it. Ran down for the 3, pulled up, nailed it. He ran down for the 5th one. It like rattled around and then went down. So everybody was hyping shit. He came running back down the court and fired that shit from like 35, and he nailed it. The nigga ran to the locker room and everybody went running behind him and shit. Because it's like, Spo don't fuck around.
Yeah.
And it's so funny knowing what we know now, where it's like certain coaches aren't like that. Certain coaches, like Ross said the other day, certain coaches are players' coaches where they like, oh man, go ahead, do whatever the fuck you want to do. I'll holler at y'all in a couple of days.
Oh, it's nice out. I'm gonna go hit the tee.
Yeah, like, and you got certain coaches that are all about working out, practice, reading, watching, and that goes to be said where you got to be able to like put that on players. And that's where Phil Jackson, where a lot of people didn't look at Phil Jackson as like no Red Auerbach or no Pat Riley and shit, but Phil Jackson was the greatest. I think Phil Jackson wasn't the greatest coach. I think he was the greatest manager ever. He knew how to manage talent. He knew to say, yeah, let Dennis go ahead. Yeah. He part of NWO. Let him go get his body slams. We going to be good. The rest of y'all don't try that shit though. He knew how to manage talent. Yeah. Spo is that, and he's like an X and O guy. Yep. Because he did that shit with the Heatles, and he did it without the Heatles. Yeah. Spo been the fucking, 6 championships? Yeah. From the video room. Spo started out in the video room. You gotta fuck with that. Yeah. That's dope to see.
And you gotta fuck with Pat Riley because the timing of how they did it.
Is that all true?
That's the rumor. Oh, wow. You know what I'm saying? The rumor is Spo, in the midst of going through a divorce, he just finalized his divorce. New contract, goddamn. Hey, put you back on your feet, baby.
Pastor, I've been through that. I know I know how this goes. Trust me, I know how it goes. You want to
shelter your assets. You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing.
Here's the play. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You want to minimize your new income streams.
You wake up, start an LLC, and that's how you do it.
If you really want to take it to the next level, you wake up, start an S Corp. You know what I'm saying? That's how you go to the next level.
That's funny as shit. I didn't know that was real. But no, that's dope, man. He got 120 million.
Congrats to Spo, man. It's always a great day when somebody get 100 plus
120 million guaranteed, largest committed money ever for an NBA coach. Like I said, I think he earned it, man. 15 years grinding, coming out the video room. Yeah. He had to deal with the Heatles and all of that nonsense where that remember that first year where they didn't win the chip? That had everybody like, man, remember they was like, we need to bring Pat the fuck out the booth and bring his ass down. All that shit. And Pat said, no, man, Spo good. Come back, another chip. You get it going. The Heatles shit ends. LeBron leaves. But then you basically build Heat culture to be what it is, to where you do it with a team basically of just good draft picks. Yeah. And that's one thing that's super understated when it comes to them. They draft better than just about any team in the league. Absolutely. They draft their asses off. And one thing, shout out Marley the barber, we kind of like, he noted it the other day. You notice how trim Kyle Lowry look on the Heat? He's always been like a little Khalid Alameen-ish, but Kyle Lowry got like muscle showing. Yeah. And it's like, because Spo like, nigga, run your ass around this gym. Fuck is you talking about?
See them 94 cones, run around all them Jones.
Straight up. So I fucks with Spo and I'm happy for him.
Yeah, no, congrats to Spo,
Straight up, man. You got anything else?
I got nothing else, man. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all tapping in once again. We'll be back in another couple of days with another bunch of takes and entertainment, news, reviews, and maybe some interviews. Who knows, man? You never know with us, man. We unpredictable.
We out there, bitch.
Peace.